Welcome, everyone. Happy New Year. I see you guys are starting your year the right way, staying active, staying healthy. So we look forward to working with everyone, in January moving forward, hopefully for the entire winter and spring. So today we're going to do kind of how we've been doing this program. We'll do our warm up. We'll try to tackle most of the body parts using our resistance bands. We do have some new people, and I anticipate a few more joining us next week when they get their equipment. So I'll do what I can to catch everyone up, and I'll send you some videos also if you are new on how to set up your anchor and such. So for today, we're going to try to keep it mostly seated. We will go to our anchor, but since some of us here don't have an anchor that can be set up, we'll do a lot just from this position using our bodies as the anchor. So let's go through our regular warm-up routine. We'll get ourselves nice and loose. We're going to start at the head. So let's just do some revolutions, head revolutions, go one way. We're going to do about 10 each way. And let's reverse it nice and slow. All right, and let's go a little bit further down. We're going to get into our shoulders here. So let's just do some forward rolls, nice and slow. Try to go real deep with the shoulders, as high as you can, and drop them down as low as you can. And let's reverse it. All right, now let's go back forward with some arm circles. So arms out to the side, and we're just going to start really slow, really small circles. Let's go slightly larger here. And now let's go as big as you can. This is a great warm-up. Loosens our back up, our chest, our shoulders. And now let's reverse it, starting real small. Let's expand, slightly larger. And as large as we can. All right, let's move down to the core. For the core, I'm just gonna bring my arms out to the side in a T formation. I'm just gonna rotate my trunk 90 degrees and back to the middle. And then I'm gonna go to the other side. Nice and slow. You don't want to bounce back and forth. Pause at the end. Bring it back to the middle. One more each way. All right. Next, we're going to give our back a nice little stretch. I want you to take your left hand, put it on the outside of your right leg. Push against that leg to turn your bodies to the right. And we're going to hold here. Go as far as you can and hold in that position. Now take the hand behind you and reach straight up into the sky with it. And hold it right here for another 10 seconds. And now the other side. So right arm, I'm using the right outside of my right hand up against my left quadricep or so. I'm going to turn my body to the left and hold. Take the hand behind you, straight up to the sky, and hold. All right, and now our lower bodies, let's just, if you are able to, I should say, lift your knees just straight up, one at a time. If not, you can assist with your arms, just lift them up. We're gonna do about 10 with each leg. Doesn't have to be very high, about 6 inches off the ground. Loosen those hips up. A few more. One more with each. All right. Now we're gonna go out to the side with our leg. So I'm gonna start with my right and go out to the side, back to the middle. With the left, out to the left, back to the middle. Again, you can assist with your arms. If you don't have lower body mobility, do the best you can. You don't have to go too far out. But I recommend trying to take a nice big step to the side if you're able to. And back to the middle and the opposite leg. So let's do about 10 of these to each side. Again, good for our groin, our hips. Lightly working the quads and hamstrings. It's just a warm up. And one more with each leg. All right. And last warm-up stretch, I want you to bring your palms together forward like you're diving into the water. And now you're just going to open up with one arm. And you're going to follow it with your head, just like this. All the way out to the right, as far as you can. You're going to open yourself up. And then come back to the middle. And we're going to open ourselves up the other way. So you're always keeping the one arm straight like you're diving, and the other one is just opening up. Let's do a couple more. Last one with each arm. All right, and we are ready to get going. So for those that have the set we mailed out, I'm probably going to use the heavier band for these first ones. I recommend either the heavier or the second heaviest one. If all you have is one band, just make do with what you have. But our first 3 or 4 exercises, we're just going to use the band by itself, no handles needed. All right, so we're going to do a lot of work with the traps and the back and our shoulders for these first few exercises. Let me fix the camera here. All right. So first exercise, I want you to grab your band slightly wider than shoulders, maybe. I have about 1.5 feet in between from hand to hand. We're going to go up over our head. We're going to hold it above our head. And we're just going to pull it apart right above our head. And then back to the middle. And pull it apart again. Never release the tension. It shouldn't look like this. There should be tension from here to here. Just like that. So your muscles are always working. So we're going to do about 15 of these. This is really working our shoulders and traps primarily. Go nice and slow and controlled. It's easy to bounce with these bands, so keep it nice and slow here. A couple more, and we're going to do one more set. If you want more resistance, okay, we can take a quick break. If you want more resistance, just grip the band closer, and that's going to make it a lot harder to pull. So if you only have one band and it's a very light band, just grab it closer together. And vice versa, if it was too hard, just grip it wider. All right, quick break, and we're going to do that one more time. You should be feeling it back here and in your shoulders. All right, let's go ahead and do set number 2. Arms straight up. Also, I didn't tell you to avoid bending at the elbow here. You want to keep your arms pretty straight and locked if you can. All right, and here we go. That's 10. 5 more. And last one. All right. And we're going to stay in this position up here. But now we're going to stretch the band and we're going to bring it down to our chest. So we want to stretch it out. Bend at the elbows like a 90-degree, and we're going to bring it down to our chest and back up. So it's like a lat pull down. This is going to work your back a little bit more. You should feel this in your back. I bring it just about the bottom of my neck and back up. The more you stretch the band, the more your muscles are working. Let's do about 3 more. And rest. You should be feeling that in your biceps and definitely the back. Really nice and pretty easy exercise that replaces pulling down on weight. Good alternate to work the back here. So we're going to do one more. For those that are new, we like to do usually about 2 sets of everything. Sometimes we do 3. Like to switch things up. Muscle confusion is very good, so we try not to repeat the same workout here. All right, well, let's do set number 2. So once again, arms overhead. We're gonna give it a nice little stretch, bend at the elbows, and bring it down to your neck. Now 5 more. All right, and rest. So we're gonna give those muscles a quick break, and we're gonna do a tricep workout here for our arms. The heaviest band might be a little bit challenging, so I'm actually gonna go down to one lower. I'm gonna go down to the blue one for me. And what I'd like for you to do, we're just gonna do this. So it's kind of like an upright, but I'm gonna just rotate the shoulders so my forearms are parallel to the ground. And from here, we're just gonna extend with one arm to the side at a time. So right arm out and back in, left arm out and back in. And you're keeping the top of your arm still. All you're doing is extending with the elbow and bring it back in. And you should really be isolating that tricep. You should feel that tricep working pretty hard. And then from here, you can add another element. You can step out to the right, back in, step out to the left, back in. You don't have to, but this way you're also working your core a little bit. But it's just fine to work the triceps. Up to you. I'm going to incorporate some additional movements to some of these exercises. Let's do about 2 more with each arm. All right, and break. What's really nice there is by holding it in this position, you should really be feeling some burn in your shoulder just from maintaining that position. So it's really a good move that works multiple muscle groups. All right, quick break, and we're gonna do that one more time. Okay, arms up, and set number 2. And 1, 2. Five more with each arm. One more with each. And last one. All right. Ooh, that's good. It's actually really good for the shoulders, just holding into that position. All right, I'm gonna go back with my heavy band for this next one. We're gonna do a similar movement to what we did earlier, but this time I want you to keep your arms above your head, same grip, slightly wider than shoulder grip, arms straight up. And I want you to pull the band in front of you this time, right above your chest instead of above your head. I want you to pull it above your chest, bring it back to the top, and then pull it behind you, in front of you, and behind you. And here we, again, want to be pretty locked out in the elbows. Just like that. Slight elbow bend is fine. You just want to avoid this, because then you're working different muscles. All right, and here we go. This is working our shoulders, our backs. It's actually even working our chest a little bit too. Two more in front and behind. And rest. Hopefully you guys are feeling the burn. I sure am. We're targeting a lot of the same muscles here, and I did that on purpose. So we're gonna do one more set. All right, arms up above the head, and let's begin. A couple more. And the last two here, one in front and one in the back. All right. Good job, everyone. We're gonna give those muscles a quick break. And we're gonna target our biceps a little bit here. So for this, what I like to do is just throw the band underneath my legs. This is the easy way to do it. You can also stand on your band. For those of you that are new, we do this frequently where we stand on the band and we use it as an anchor, or feet as an anchor point. So up to you. You can stand on the band. I'll show you how to do the standing version first. We'll be sitting, of course, but what I mean by standing is feet on the band. And we're just gonna we're gonna hold right underneath the buckles. We're just gonna do curls, hammer curls, only bending at the elbow. The side view, we're just bending at the elbow. Elbows pinched at the side. You don't want them out here. You don't want them back here because we want to isolate the bicep. And if you have it underneath your legs, same principle. You're going to want to grab it right next to your leg. Your range of motion is going to change a little bit. You're not going to be able to go down as far. So I'd probably just recommend using the feet if you're able to. But you're still getting all that benefit from the curl motion. So let's do 2 sets of 15 of these together. I'm going to stand on the band. That's my personal preference. And here we go. 1, 2. About 5 more. And last one. And rest. All right. Good job, everyone. Hopefully you found the method that works best for you. I always like using my feet as an anchor just because it gives me a little bit more range of motion for these exercises. And if you'd like, you don't have to sit. You can stand and do the same thing. Yeah, I'm going to bend down, but that's what it would look like, just like that. All right, here we go. Set number 2, 15 more repetitions. And let's begin. It's 10, 5 more. Last one. And rest. If you're standing on the band, continue standing on the band because we're going to need to use our feet as an anchor for the next move. So for this next move, we're going to do some shrugs. So I'm gonna wanna grab the band right here, right by my ankles, the bottom of my shin. And then I'm just gonna sit up. You can't see me, but my chest is kind of by my knees right now, just like this. And then I'm gonna just sit up holding the band. And we're gonna just do shrugs. We're gonna pull that band and shrug. So once again, I'm gonna grip down here, sit up. My arms are locked. You don't want any bend in your arms. And we're just gonna shrug up to the ears and down. Shrug and release. Shrug and release. So let's do about 15 of these together and begin. Feel free to do this standing up too. The slower the better with these. You want to pause at the top and just slowly release. Couple more. 1 and 2. All right, quick break and we're gonna do one more set. Feel free to grab some water. After this, we're gonna do one more exercise, then we're gonna move to our anchor point. For those that are new, I'll explain the anchor point and show you guys what that's gonna look like. All right, here we go. Set number 2 for shrugs. And begin. That's 10, about 5 more. And last one. All right. And quick break. I'm gonna switch bands now. I'm actually gonna go to my lightest band, which is my yellow band. If you only have one band, you're kind of limited, so you're gonna have to stick with that. But once again, I'm gonna use my feet as an anchor point. Just like that, about 6 inches space in between my feet. I'm gonna grab it halfway up my shin. So right about here, halfway up my shin. And then I'll show you what we're gonna do from there. From there, my arms are straight, and we're gonna go out to the side. We're gonna go back like a reverse fly. I'm gonna show you the side view. So from the knees, we're gonna bring our hands even with our bodies. From the knees, even with our bodies. This is what it looks like from the side. Just like that. It's a modified reverse fly. It's gonna work our back, our shoulders. So here we go. We're just gonna do one set of these and then we're gonna move on and do some chest exercises. So here we go. One set of 15 and begin. We are not gonna be breaking up into smaller groups today. For those that are new, we typically break up the last 10 or 15 minutes into 2 groups, depending if you want to train your arms or your legs. Usually I do legs and Monica will do the arms in another room, but we will explain that next week when we resume to our breakout rooms. Let's do about 2 more. 1 and 2. All right. Now we're going to move to our anchors. I want to show you guys what the anchor point looks like. We can put our handles on for those of you using the anchor. I'm just going to take my thickest band for these exercises. It's up to you what you want to use. All right, and I'm going to have to bring my other chair over. All right. So this is my anchor right down there on my pillar. Usually those go underneath the door or over the top of the door. But since the only door I have here isn't in a great spot, it's in the hallway over there, I created a little anchor down here on this pillar. So this is, this little black thing is what you get in your package for those of you that are new. And you're, like I said, it's meant for a door, but I made it work with a gate strap here, and it does the job just fine. But what you do, so you go with your band around the loop, and from here, now you have an anchor point. So this is great for exercises like this next one we're going to do, where we're doing a chest press. So I'm sitting about 2 feet away, maybe 2.5 feet. And from here, I could really get some good resistance and isolate those pecs. So for those of you following along that have the capability, we're going to do 15 sets of, 15 reps of the chest press. So let's begin. And there's a lot you can do with these anchors. If you don't have this anchor, you could use your back as an anchor, and I'll show you how to do that right after I'm done here. Let's do about 3 more. Last one. And rest. If you don't have this anchor, what you can do, wrap the band around your back, and you're gonna hold it right here, right next to your rib cage with all the slack hanging. And from here, you can actually replicate that same movement we're doing with the anchor. You know, it's not the exact same, but it's still, you're still working what you should be working. So keep that in mind. All right. Well, back to our chest set. We're going to do one more. I know we're running out of time, and I want to take some questions. So let's do one more of these. Straight chest presses. I just have my thumb underneath. So I have the bands underneath my armpit so they don't rub. If I did it this way, I'd get rubbing on my arm, and that doesn't feel that great. So I grip it from over the top here. All right, let's begin. 15 more. 1, 2. Five more. All right, that's good. It's a good exercise, especially if you're using the heavier band. You can definitely feel it. For this next move, I wouldn't recommend the heavier band, but I'm going to do it just because we're running a little low on time. But what I want you to do is we're going to have a neutral grip, just like this. You're going to extend your arms out, and then we're going to go out to the side and back in. So it's this motion. It's a fly. It's a chest pec fly. We're going to go toward even with our bodies and then out. My arms are locked at the elbow. And actually, this weight isn't too bad. I thought it'd be a little bit heavy, but it's not too bad. So let's do a few of these together, about 10 more. Do 3 more together. 1, 2, and 3. All right. I think we are gonna stop right here because I do want to take some questions for the last 3 minutes of the class, since we do have some new